So, how many students were you directing, and how did they feel about the contest? Are they cooperative?
For at least for my part, I directed the women. So each class has about, depends on, usually the classes are 450, so 450. So for my specific competition, I directed probably around 230 or 40. Some classes have more boys in them and some classes have more girls. Yeah, probably 240 about. Or maybe, okay, 250. I'm thinking now 250. Yeah, yeah. But it was, when you think about that, we've just been so used to, I mean, our class sizes are not your average high school class size. So we've been so used to having everything always bigger. And so for me, when I think about it now and I hear myself speaking how many girls I directed, I'm just like crazy, you know? Like you don't see choir directors directing that many people ever. Like I've never seen that. So cooperative, lack of better term, it's just a long day. I must say the schedule for song contests, the school pretty much stops and just bows down to this competition because everyone, whether or not they're Hawaiian, I think as an employee, as a staff member, as a student, everyone knows how important this is to our school and to each personal individual. The schedules change. We have a song contest schedule, and the students go through 8 classes, and then they have a 45-minute rehearsal at the end of the day. And by that time, it's 2-something, and everyone's eyes are going down, and they're hungry, and they're thinking about who they're gonna meet after, and they gotta go see their boyfriend, and they have practice for paddling, and they're stressed because they're not sure if they're gonna make the cut for the team, but I'm there to tell them, you know, hey, we need to focus for these minutes. So some days are great. You know, some days the girls came to work and they were so uplifted, and some days were hard. You know, you always have your same passion. You always go into rehearsal and you're so excited and you want them to feel the same way that you do about your culture. But it's a process. It doesn't come in an overnight thing. And some classes, they are super cooperative, but I must say for the most part, my class was awesome, and either way I'd take them. But the hard part I think about rehearsals is the talking. You gotta make sure they're focused, and the texting, and you know, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that I'm so grateful for the teachers. I never knew how grateful I am for the teachers, because I feel bad when I would do that to them, and now I know what it's like to be up at the forefront. So it's a good experience, though. It's really good.
I think that at the end they all pulled through and put up a great performance. This kind of echo the title of the movie, One Voice. They all wanted to express this unity.
Yeah, it's so true. Like how you mentioned the pull through. I mean, when the weeks start counting down and we start to realize that we have a whole bunch of work to do and we're nowhere where we need to be, the class just totally just comes together. And that's, I think ultimately that's the best part, to know that your class is so willing to work for something that's, you know, they just need it because it's you know, we get to have bragging rights for a year and we get to say we won. But more than that, it's finally realizing that your classmates are so proud of who they are as a Hawaiian. So, I mean, you look at it and, I mean, when you think about the things we had to do, you're just like crazy. But now I had some of my classmates, the girls, come up to me our senior year and just tell me, thank you so much for helping me realize how important it is to love my culture. And to me, I'm like, I'm just doing what I love. And so, oh, you're welcome, you know. But it's those moments you live for. It's those stress moments where you break down and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And then the next day, your classmate just encourages you and says, we got this. It's just those things that keep you moving and know that our culture is still thriving, like the messages of this movie, One Voice.
Kala's gonna make me cry because it's like, that's exactly like what, as a director, like for me, that's what I strive for. It's competition is one thing, but then it's really the lowest thing of priorities. I mean, yeah, you want to win, but like if you win and you get nothing out of it and your classmates are not better people because of it, then, what's the point? So what Carlo was saying, like, people would come up to her, and it's happened to me too in my senior year, like, people would Facebook me, people would just say these random just thank yous, and it would just, I'd be crying in front of my computer because it was that touching, and it was that affirming to know that what I'm trying to do is happening beyond the fact that, oh, I hope we win. That's just, that night, at least in my experience for our senior year, that night was just like, it doesn't matter if we win, because we're here, we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're going to be better people because of it as we walk out, no matter what happens, no matter what trophies we walk out with. So it was just it's just a really huge privilege to be in this position where you can influence people in such a positive way. And to go back what you were saying about how people start to pull through, and the way you were saying it, it was perfect. That's exactly how we explain it. It's like, no matter what happens, it always, I almost want to say every single time it'll pull through, no matter what. Even if it's crap a week before, it always pulls through. And it just goes to show you that, you get a bunch of, a large group of young Hawaiians, you can, without motivation, yeah, you can slack off for the first couple rehearsals and nothing's going to get done. But when everybody turns around and everybody does things as one unit, it just goes to show how much good things a group of young Hawaiians can do. And it's just so empowering for each other. As it's happening, it's like, wow, we're actually doing this. We're making what seems impossible to us happen. And to be a part of that in a director point of view is just, first of all, like, you just witness it and you're like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. But at the same time, it's like, I'm so happy to be a part of this and to help you guys through this and to lead you guys through this. So it's just beyond words, such a privilege. But the hardest thing is when, as you're a student in Kamehameha and you're going through this song contest, you don't realize what you're doing until you leave. And that's like, that was one of the things that I really wanted to get through to my class. Like, don't wait till you're gone and then realize that all the stuff you had there was amazing. Realize it now and live it now. So, I hope to have got to some of them. We had a great year in our senior year, so it was just really awesome, really awesome.